I've been working with Amazon as like a customer for a while. Amazon Web Services is a huge company that basically lends companies servers and GPUs and all that. Around late last year, something strange has happened. My account manager, let's call him Jason, right, has been working with us for almost a year in terms of our AWS bills and needs and all the things like that. I remember it was like one day, one afternoon in November 2025, I sent him an email asking basically for like a pricing discount and a startup plan. And all of a sudden it just bounced. It bounced, like as in like the email didn't get delivered. There wasn't an auto reply from Jason saying that, oh, I'm no longer with the company. Please get in touch with this person, all that. It's just like, it's literally blank. I was like, okay, he might have left. Let me reach out to another person. And then I found someone I was in touch with who was basically Jason's boss. So I emailed her as well and it bounced again. So I kept trying this for like 4 different times. And the 4 people that I know of in the Toronto office is gone. So that was when I realized what the heck is going on. And then I saw the news on Wall Street Journal, New York Times and all that. Amazon just had a huge layoff. And then they had a layoff in November, they had a layoff in December, and they just had a layoff as early, this year, like a couple layoffs. And 30,000 people, white collar people, right? Not the warehouse people, you know, not like the manufacturing people, white collar tech workers. 30,000 of them are gone. But what shocked me wasn't like, what prompted me to make this video wasn't because of 30,000 layoffs. Is that yesterday and today I checked, they're hiring another 11,000 people. So I just got confused. Naturally, I'm like, why are you laying off 30,000 people and hiring 11,000? But did some research, did some digging, and what I found out was honestly pretty shocking. So it turns out the 30,000 people that were fired, their roles are all managers, a lot of them at least. They all have managers, manager 1, manager 2, manager 3, level 3, different things in their job titles as confirmed by many media outlets. So 30,000 essentially middle managers, top managers, senior managers, or basic managers that just got let go over the past couple months. And the 11,000 people, they're not managers at all. They are essentially software developers, they're software engineers, software developing interns. So Amazon is hiring 11,000 of them while letting 30,000 managers go. It may sound bizarre until you dig into to see exactly what playbook Amazon's playing. Amazon's new CEO, Jassy, basically said that Amazon has become a manager organization in November 2025. Claude Opus 4.6 came out, and that has changed how I think about how AI is capable of changing the world. So I laid off one of my team members, unfortunately. Jack Dorsey saw the same thing, and he laid off 4,000 people at Block. And I think the same thing is happening across even large companies like Amazon. Amazon, their AWS works very closely with Anthropic, by the way, so they probably got the taste of the new model before they even came out to public, so people like me can use it. And the thing is, they're probably noticing already one of their developers, engineers who they got hired like many years ago is probably doing the work of 5. And I don't think that is an exaggeration. I am not a technical person. I do write code, but I'm not really good at it before AI. Now with AI, I can basically do the work of 2 to 3 developers. I can be a front-end developer, I can be a back-end developer, I can also be a DevOps and cloud developer. Despite not being really good at any one of those, but I can get the job done. My website is essentially written by me. I'm not a designer, but I didn't say I'm not a developer, but I did build my website. So I think Amazon and every other company on this planet who's in tech and who has a lot of exposure of AI is probably reaching the same conclusions that one person can do 5, then why do we need managers? Initially, the idea might be like, okay, one manager is going to manage 5 developers or 10 developers. Now one developer is essentially the old 5. So why do we need managers for? But their frugality is now crunching the managers. So if you have a manager, your manager is just fired by Amazon, and your manager's manager, it's basically fired by Amazon as well. And we are entering a world where, quite frankly, I don't see a place for an organization as big as Amazon and Google to be having much managers at all. I think that's just the truth. And if you keep looking at exactly what is happening, I mean, 80,000 jobs As of this recording, April 2026, 80,000 tech jobs are lost in the US alone this year so far. And more than 50% of those layoffs cited AI as the factor. We don't really know if AI is the real reason or not, but the signal is pretty clear. Microsoft just issued a 7% layoff notice. It's a nice way of laying you off. It is basically saying that we can buy you out, you can retire, right, for their senior people. It says, and it has never happened for Microsoft. I know people who work at Microsoft. It's a place for people to retire, and if you work after 5 p.m., people are gonna be mad at you. Your colleagues are gonna be like, why the hell are you still working after 5 p.m.? Today, for sure, managers are getting canned from AWS and probably coming next to Microsoft, Google, whatever else, and maybe a tech company that you're working at. But I think the implication is more than that. I can't say that if you're a developer, if you're an engineer, you're safe. For Microsoft, the 7%, if you work in GitHub Copilot or Copilot, or if you work in AI, you're not part of that 7%. So I run a team of just 3 people, literally 3 people. So myself, my COO, and my head engineer. That was it. To take a beat and talk about like my own team, right now we're a team of 3. And for the longest time, I generally thought that we are niche. We're like special and different. Like we just basically go against the trend of the world. We can utilize AI as much as possible, not like relying on it. Humans always in the loop and of course checks everything. We don't just write and publish AI slops or for whatever. Like we run an AI research company. We also run a fintech company as well as running the content here with you guys. And it's just 3 of us. And for the longest time I was like, yeah, we're just being lean. We're just being like, frugal and all that. And to be fully transparent, when we need something, let's say we need a lawyer, we need an accountant, we need someone to help with YouTube, someone to help with music or whatever, we hire people on contracts. So it's just like, you can think of like 3 people who are on a full time and a small group of contractors on some sort of rotations. That is kind of the direction where we are heading at anyways. And I don't see myself changing that anytime soon as well. And just 3 years ago, we had 14 people. We had to lay off a lot of them. So we ended up with 5, and then over the next 2 years, we actually churned down, which is something I didn't expect because our revenue is going up, our expectations are going up. We have literally a lot more work than we did 3 years ago, but our headcount just stayed flat. I'm personally lean, like it's just a style that I want to run my companies. That is why we have 3 people. Every time the government asks, because of course governments always want you to have as many people as possible, create new jobs and economic development and stuff. How can 3 people have the output of 30, of 50, of 60? How is that even possible? I am showing that it is reachable, it is possible. And every day the work I'm doing here with you guys and the work I'm doing with my team, but I'm afraid, I have to be honest, I am afraid of how the trend is going to go. When Jack Dorsey fired his 4,000 people, the market rewarded him. The market gave him a boost. He became hundreds of millions of dollars wealthier in terms of stock value for himself. And I don't know, I think the market will keep doing that. The future is a bunch of like very smart individuals running small companies or a group of consortium, like, capitalistic public stock companies running the same staff, like 5 or 10% of their staff compared to what it is now. I mean, it is a tempting world for the capitalists. It is a good world for their investors, but it's a bad world for everyone else. There is a but in there, though. We are assuming that all of these transformations, all these layoffs are happening because AI is cheap, right? But as I mentioned in my last video, AI is not cheap, and the companies who are doing it cheap are running out of money and needs public market or private market to keep pumping money on it. If AI is so expensive because no one wants to subsidize it anymore, and your company couldn't afford to pay that much anymore, they are coming back and they're going to hire human out of it. So it's not all doom. There is a real possibility that this AI bubble is going to burst. People who laid off a bunch of people because of cheap AI are going to regret it, and they're going to have to hire people back, which is what happened in Jack Dorsey's blog. They laid off people, but then they're like, oh shit, we have to find people to hire them back. Don't be too pessimistic about the future. I'm personally optimistic about the future. I think we always find a solution. And I think, on YouTube or wherever else, where people are dooming, like, oh, the world is ending, like the jobs are ending. It is true in the short term, but after this week, after seeing exactly what is happening with these like frontier labs and they're burning money, and the American people standing up against building data centers in their communities, which is absolutely right, by the way, I am becoming more optimistic about the path that we're going. So let me know what you guys think. I think this is perhaps a double-edged sword. We're going to have more layoffs, we're going to have more people cutting, but eventually there might be a hiring boom when all this bubble is bursted and said and done.